Well guys, today is the day. The greenhouse has arrived.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life.
My name is Bonnie, this is Artist in a Garden, and much anticipated greenhouse build. So I ordered this greenhouse the beginning of May and had some issues with some shipping. It got delayed, but it's finally here. And I spent a few days making the base for this greenhouse. I'm using a polycarbonate plasticky type flooring that self-levels most of itself. Self-levels itself. So it's the product that we're familiar with. We've used it for the base of our hot tub as well as under both of our bunkies. So it's very familiar to us. And when I was thinking of what to use as the flooring for my greenhouse, I thought this product would be perfect. Also being black, in the summer it'll be really hot, but in the spring I think it will really help retain the heat. We might be putting a white rug in a greenhouse. Not sure that's a great idea, but I spent a few days getting this space level and putting together this flooring.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
You have to assemble it upside down and put all the pieces together.
Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
And once you get it together, we had to flip it over. That was a task, but it's ready to go. It's in the spot that we want it to be in. I was anxious and started to work through these instructions that this greenhouse comes with, and did get the base of the greenhouse already started, but the instruction manual looks pretty simple to follow. If you've ever put together one of those Lego sets where it tells you what piece you need and how many of them, and then it gives you the diagram as to where the piece goes, it's the same as that. So you can practice by following along with some Lego tutorials before you attempt the instructions for this greenhouse. Let me show you what this manual looks like, and we're gonna get started. So this is the manual that it comes with. So I am building the Victory Orangery polycarbonate greenhouse from Palram, and it's right on the front cover. It gives you all the instructions as to what tools you're going to need, the size of wrench that you need, and the drill size that you need. But it is quite thick. Contents, the contents pages tells you what the item number is, what it looks like. It gives you a diagram, very detailed diagram as to what it is, and the quantity that comes in the kit. Lots of nuts and bolts and screws, and there's all our polycarbonate pieces and our support pieces. It tells you whether you should be on the inside of the greenhouse doing the step or on the outside of the greenhouse, and just a few extra pointers for these steps once you get to them. A lot of the instructions in the beginning don't want you to tighten the bolts, so it gives you an icon on each of the pages whether you're to leave it loose and not tighten it, or whether it's okay to go ahead and tighten it as you're working through it. So here is an overview of the tools that we're starting with. We have our drill bit, which is a star. We've got some, what are these called?
Nut drivers.
We've got some nut drivers to drive your nuts. To drive you nuts. We've packed our patience for today, right? Yeah.
I got cookies.
And cookies, right. So that's kind of an overview of the tools, some basic wrenches, then some, what are these called? Vice grips, a measuring tape, electrical tape.
Just in case we don't know if we need to tape it off somewhere.
Some electrical tape just in case, you never know. And yeah, it's I've got some of the pieces out of the package. I'll show you what the box of extra batteries for the camera. We can't forget that, batteries for the camera. They all come in these bags, these extra pieces. So this one's labeled S. I think this stuff, this rubber stuff, is for the windows and doors. There are 2 windows in this greenhouse that will open. We have bug spray and I'm gonna need a coffee before we start any of this. So all the bags come labeled with what's in them. Most of the nuts and washers have the actual number of the screw that's in them. So this is the step we're at right now. We are going to be squaring up the greenhouse and installing the plugs, the fastener plugs to put the bolts in, to bolt the whole greenhouse to the floor. So before I start any of this though, I need to go make another coffee.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more.
Okay, step 10 is done. Step 11, part number 7076. We need 6 of them. So this is the box that all the pieces came in. We're looking for 7076. 7076. That's it. So we have completed the squaring up and leveling up of the framing of the floor. And because of the flooring we're using, we did a couple of modifications to our unit, but we have it square and level. And our next step is step 11, which is putting in some of the supports for the polycarbonate pieces. So we're starting to build the walls. Step number 11, we have 6 of the 7076 pieces, and it looks like they go on each corner.
Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Step number 16, 2 pieces of the 9431s. So we've loosely put in these bolts up on the tops, and we've installed this piece across the back, which is a piece to help you assist in putting the wall up, I'm assuming. We'll find out when we get to that step.
Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. Know finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Even in the
Step 18 is 7073. There's two that we need, which go in between these two that we have here.
you and I can weather any storm.
Getting exciting. Step 20, we need the panels. Panel 9401. We get to open another box. Should we bring this box over to the site of the build?
We should.
The build site?
We should.
We'll bring this box over to the build site as well. This cardboard is going to be good to use in my garden, keep out the weeds. How heavy do you think this is? Hi, helping hand.
It hurts.
We have a handy dandy wagon. Off we go to the build site. Lost my helping hand. I'm not sure why we have the leaf blower, but you never know, it could come in handy. I think it's the little white pieces. 318.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no
Well, so far the finicky part that we've come to is putting in the polycarbonate panels. You have to make sure you get the bead that's along the side of these panels in the channel, and with it not being stable yet, it's a little tricky to work these panels in, but you take your time. They do slide in and they seem to be leveling up pretty good. We're going to keep working away and wish us luck.
Here we go.
It's not in the channel. It's not in the channel.
See, you just want to tell them how hard it was and how it doesn't fit, slide in properly. Make it buff.
the greenhouse build is going pretty good so far. We need to get some supports on here in the front. It is a bit of a windy day for us today, so we're going to work on that next. And let me see what step are we on next. So we are on step number 23, and step number 23 is to add the bracing brackets along the top of the front pieces just to get that some support. So we're heading into the afternoon now. It is 10 to 4. And this is how far we've made it. So we've got the walls up, so that's 5 hours, and we're doing pretty good. It looks like we are on the step that requires some silicone.
That didn't count.
Silicone time!
Like movies?
Caulking. We are working on step number 27. Add silicone to the outer areas of part 292 as illustrated. So that's part 972. 292 is a bracket, and we're working on this back support piece. Who just hit my brand new greenhouse with a football? Well guys, here we are at the end of our day one greenhouse build. This is the Palram chalet style greenhouse. It's the 10 by 12 model, and I think we're going to call it a day today with the stage that we're at. We're at I think it is stage number 29 or 30 in the manual book, and the next steps for our greenhouse build is putting on the roof and putting the roof together. So I think it's a good point for us to stop. We've had a great first day with the build. The directions have been pretty simple and pretty easy to follow. Like I mentioned before, it's like following a giant Lego build. If you're comfortable with that, you can handle this and no problem. So we've gotten our base down, our floor level, our base squared up with all the corners and secured to our flooring. And then we moved on to the walls. We got the supports in and added in the polycarbonate panels. Had to do a little fiddling with those. They were a little finicky going in, but managed to figure out a way to make it a little easier, just loosening off a few of the bolts as we were working those in. But it's been a great first day. We're going to continue the build tomorrow, and I will keep you updated on how getting the roof on this is going to go. My name is Bonnie. This is Artist in a Garden. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can follow along and see the updates on my greenhouse build. If you have any questions or comments about a greenhouse that you're building, leave them below and we'll try to answer them with any experience that we have after going through this build with ours. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.